Okay. Uh, so okay. So can you all tell me what do you mean by jurisdictional issues in cloud computing? Can you tell me what do you mean by jurisdictional issues? Yes, anyone? Okay. So jurisdictional issues পঢ়িছা তো তোমালোকে মনত আছে পঢ়িছা যে although you do not remember the definition, you at least remember the name, right? So jurisdictional কি হয়? Jurisdictional issues, they are related to some rules and regulations or policies which are related or mainly concerned about a location of the data. That means depending on the location of the data, depending on the position of the data or geographical location বুলি কোৱা তুমি physical location বুলি কোৱা তুমি any location of data, depending on that location the specific laws that are applied to the cloud are known as jurisdictional issues. বুজি পাইছা? For example, very simple example, list of holidays. Okay, list of holidays even for bank, list of holidays for bank, all central holidays of birthday. Leaving aside the central holidays, that means your New Year, Christmas, Eid, okay, then Gandhi Jayanti, your national, sorry, Independence Day, Republic Day, these are the national holidays. These are taken care by or they are celebrated all across the country. But there are some other holidays also which are related or which are mainly specific to the place. For example, in Northeast, in Assam, you have Bihu. So a person or a bank SBI in located in suppose Mumbai will not get holiday for Bihu. So that means these are the policies or laws. They are specific or related or they are mainly concerned according to the location of the data. So an SBI office which is located or situated in Assam, they will have Bihu holidays. SBI office which is located in Mumbai will get a holiday in Ganesh Chaturthi. Understood? So when there are some specific laws that are applied, where the laws are applied based on some location of the data, they are called jurisdictional issues. Okay? Understood? Very simple example. Why this is necessary? Why don't we, why don't we regularize or make something very common? Because see, holidays are to fine. You can, everyone will be happy to get more holidays. But in case of data, you cannot do it. Why we cannot do it is because if the laws are not specific to the location, in that case, the data centers, that means to locate the data centers will cost. If the rules are according to your, we can say the according to the location, then the transportation cost, then your storage cost, then your logistics and everything will reduce to a maximum extent. And this is very much optimal also. Okay, and also taking into consideration the legal aspect. So the legal aspect also is different for different location. Okay, now in case of cloud, how can you understood what is jurisdictional law or jurisdictional issues? So how do you manage this risk of jurisdiction? এনে কিবা problem আহিলে তুমি with the help of this jurisdictional issues, how do you take care of? How do you take the how do you handle the risk of these laws and policies? Because you see, there will be so many vendors whose main aim is to take the benefit out of the cloud providers, cloud, service, consumers, service consumers, by making, by maybe by making full of them, maybe by taking more amount from them. So how do you take care of this risk, or how do you take care of this different type of problems that you may face because of these laws? Okay, first of all, though, before very much important, which we normally, most of the people, they, by knowing also, they tend to make the mistake is they do not go through the rules and regulations or the policies before signing for a vendor, or before signing for a third party or a service provider. So this is like you have to perform thorough checkups or thorough checks before you go for an agreement. This is very much important. If not possible from your side, suppose if it is not possible from your side to understand each and everything from the cloud service provider, whatever documentation or whatever rules they are telling, what you can do is you can engage a third party auditor. তুমি যেনেকে কোৱা, a middle person, okay, who will take care of all your rules and formalities and everything. You pay him some amount, and then he will take care of everything. So this is also possible. Okay, next you can do is like you can choose a provider who allow you to, I mean, take care of, who helps you, who assists you in selecting the storage or the processing location. Now suppose if I'm in Guwahati, I have a data center in Bangalore, and I have a data center in, suppose, Bangladesh. Suppose by location, if you see, Bangladesh is nearer to me, but it is a different country, so they may have some different policies. Again, the data center in Bangalore, although it is in the same country, they will have some different laws. Okay, if you see the transportation cost, if you see the any other traveling cost also, if I need to go there, then also Bangladesh is nearer to me. But how do I differentiate among these two? How do I choose which data center will be better for me to process the data, to store the data? In that case, what happens, I can consider, or I can use a service provider. That means, or we can say a third party auditor also. They will also help me in selecting which processing location is better for me. Okay, so these are the some of the ways how you can handle the risk of jurisdiction to some extent. Understood. Next, if I ask you, like, mm, okay, can you tell me the steps of migrating into a cloud? What were the different steps of migrating to a cloud? Anyone? What are the different steps to migrate to a cloud? Oh yes, assessment. Then after assessment, what is it? Okay. You left one in between. Okay, the steps of migrating into a cloud. Like, what is the procedure that you should follow when you want to migrate your business, or you want to migrate your entire software or application or data, anything, to the cloud? What are the steps that you have to follow? Okay, first is the assessment. That means what I need to migrate, what I need to migrate, what I do not need to migrate. So assessment. Next, isolate. Whatever information I need to migrate, you keep it aside. Isolate them so that you do not confuse. Map. You perform the mapping, that means from private to public or public to community, from community to hybrid, whatever mapping you need to do, from where to where you want to, you can migrate, you do the mapping. Re-architect. That means if you require any further processing, if you want to, do some further, you can say, change the functionalities of the application. Okay, that can also be done. And whatever architecture is, or whatever we can say configuration is required to be updated to implement it in the cloud, that is taken care of. Next step case augment. That means cloud computing service তোমাৰ like augmentation কৰিবৰ কাৰণে in the cloud computing, what are the steps that are required that comes under the augment? Testing. Once the augmentation is done, augmentation is like you are creating a model. That means the final we can say final shape, or the final architecture, or the final model. Okay, final model that tomorrow generate hoise, or the prototype, if you can say. Once the prototype is done, you do testing. Right? Once you do the testing, then only it can be validated. That means, okay, I have done the testing, it has completed, or it has the testing is successfully completed, so now I can validate it, and then I can bring it to the market. So testing you have to do. So like the test results will give you the update. That means if there are any disadvantages, or if there are any drawbacks or any setbacks, or is it perfectly fine. So depending on the result or the output that you get from the testing, you perform some optimization. That means you upgrade it more if there are some problems. Okay, so depending on that you do the optimization, and then finally the entire your business or your data, everything will be migrated to the cloud. What are the, so the steps are, first of all is the obviously assessment. You analyze, you assess the requirement, why you want to migrate, what you want to migrate, where you want to migrate, and how you want to migrate. Okay, now assessment is there. Isolate, you keep it aside, whatever information you want to isolate it, or you want to migrate it. Next, mapping. Like where you want to migrate is nothing but mapping. Next, re-architect. According to the configuration, or according to what are the methods required or requirements to map from public to private. So all those implementation updation, actually it is re-architect. Augment. Then you do the testing on the final model, and then optimize if there is any updation to be done. So this is a 7-step model for cloud migration. Any doubt? SRE কি হয় মনত আছেনে? What is SRE? What is SRE? Yes. Site reliability engineering. Okay. SRE, site reliability engineering. That means you are taking care of, or you are trying to see if the model, or if the architecture that you have designed or you are implementing, is it reliable or not. Right? That means the website, or the data site, or the storage site, or the processing site, whatever site is there, is it reliable or not. সেইটো চাবৰ কাৰণে তোমাৰ মেথডটো কি হৈছে SRE, that means site reliability engineering. Under, now when we talk about site reliability engineering, there is one prerequisite. That means for this to be reliable হোৱাৰ আগতে কি হ'ব লাগিব? So that means we need to have a prerequisite for SRE. It means for any software or any service to be reliable, it should be what? It should be what? It should be available, yes. So the prerequisite or the no predetermined factor for SRE is availability. That means if it is not available, it cannot perform its function, and if it cannot perform its function, it will not be it will fail by default. If it is failing by default, or if it is failing at any cause, that means it is not reliable. Okay. The goal of SRE is to improve the service. That means SRE is a measure, or we can say SRE is a measurement scale to determine how good or how reliable your we can say you can say your entire system is, or you like how reliable, how much you can rely on your system. Okay, without SRE you do not know this. So ultimately, you do not know if you can trust your system or not if you do not have SRE. Okay. So under SRE, you have SLO, service level objective. Next, you have SLA, service level agreement. And then you have SLI, service level indicator. SLI ki hoy koason? Service level indicator. Service level indicator ki hoy? Service level indicator is a measurement, is a method of measuring the service behavior. That means how many successful attempts are there? Kiman successful hoise? That is giving by that indication is given by the SLI, service level indicator. Kiman increase hoise, kiman success hoise? That is the service level indicator. Okay, that means when we evaluate like whether the system is running within the service level objective, taking care of those objectives for 1 week. So তোমাৰ এটা 1 week or পৰা running কৰি আছে and when the system is running, it is satisfying all the objectives. Okay, service level objectives. Now depending next, it will also have some value reading value of SLI, service level indicator. Now a service level indicator percentage or আমি গম পাম যে the system that is running from the past 1 week, how good it is, how useful it is. Okay, if this service level indicator is not good, or if the range is not good, then the result that we get is not as is not satisfied. Okay, চলো then ঠিক আছে, কিবা ডাউট থাকিলে সুধিবা. We'll discuss. Sometimes we'll go for the MCQs, sometimes we'll go for the revision. Okay. Otherwise, if we do not go for the revision, the problem is like some points may be missed out because all points are not covered in your MCQs. Okay. Chalo. Thank you.